I take refuge in the three years sublime ones, may become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I take refuge in the three years sublime ones, may become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. Take refuge in the three years sublime ones, Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. I arise the deity, on my tongue a syllable ah, transforms into a moon. On top of it appears a white syllable om, encircled by the Sanskrit vowels, sending clockwise, Sanskrit consonants setting counterclockwise, and the blue heart mantra of the relation setting clockwise. Light beams radiate from the Om and the mantra garlands, looking back the blessings and power of both mundane and supermundane speech, in the form of the three mantras, seven sublime precious artifacts of the king's reign made auspicious signs. Om a a I u ri ri le le wa ma zo ham. Om a a I u ri le le wa ma zo ham. Om a a I u ri le le wa ma zo ham. Ka 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 na na da da ni na da 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 ba 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 ma ma ye ba lo words da 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 so ham. Ka 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 na da 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 ni na da 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 na da 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 na ba 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 ma ma ye ba lo words da da so ham. Ka 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 na da 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 ni na da 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 na da 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 ba 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 ma ma ye ba lo words da 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 so ham. Yada Maheda Prabhapa Heda is an minority of a money mention on an Om Yada Maheda Prabhapa Heda is a minority of a money mention on an Yada Maheda Prabhapa Heda is a minority of a money mention on an The heart mantra of dependent relation absorbs into the consonants, consonants into the vowels into the syllable Om, and the Om into the moon cushion. It transforms into a syllable Ah. The Ah melts into pink nectar and absorbs into my tongue, which becomes the nature of a Vajra. And my tongue held the courage of one's gone to bliss, and now one's glorified words melts into easily subdued, meanings that have worth a savior comes instantly. Nama 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 nidadakadaka gagaram devalagaram gitadadadasranam Bobanitani nitani manikatari warisaha Nama 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 nidadakadaka gagaram devalagaram gitadadadasranam Bobanitani nitani manikatari warisaha Nama 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 nidadakadaka gagaram devalagaram gitadadadasranam Bobanitani nitani manikatari warisaha Om he de zavada da kada he da ga ga da 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 ga 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 aga ga ga da da zavada da kada samana he de ga ga da 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 so ha Om he de zavada da kada he da ga ga da 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 ga ga da ga ha da 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 sa pa zavada da kada samana he de ga da ga da 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 so ha Om he de zavada da kada he da ga ga da 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 ga ga sa ga he da 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 zavada da kada samana he de ga da ga da 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 so ha Nations of Zengabala Jack Zelo. Zawadadagaya Bhagjita Vadarbrana Mena Zawadadagada Vadarpadadavadadanam Garomi. Offering myself totally at all times to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that I am in the directions. Give me instant enlightenment. Press the Buddhas and great Bodhisattvas to accept me. Please grant me then to pass attainment. I go for refuge and I am enlightened to the Buddha that I'm on the Supreme Assembly. Elections of generosity and so forth, that make my Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. I go for refuge and I am enlightened to the Buddha that I'm on the Supreme Assembly. My collections of generosity and so forth, that make my Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. I go for refuge and I am enlightened to the Buddha that I'm on the Supreme Assembly. Collections, generosity, and so forth, make my Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. The thought desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge to the Buddha that I'm on Sangha, till the heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with living compassion and loving kindness in the presence of the Buddhas, benefit of sentient beings that are the thought of enlightenment. Without desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge to the Buddha that are on Sangha, till the heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with compassion and loving kindness in the presence of the Buddhas, benefit of sentient beings that are the thought of enlightenment. Without desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge to the Buddha that are on Sangha, till the heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, present to the Buddhas to benefit of sentient beings, and the thought of enlightenment. I go for even enlightenment to the Buddha that I'm in the Supreme Assembly. I shall generate bodhicitta for the sake of achieving the welfare of myself and others. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas abiding the 10 directions, please listen to me. For the sake of achieving complete enlightenment, for now on I shall generate bodhicitta. I go for even enlightenment to the Buddha that I'm in the Supreme Assembly. I shall generate bodhicitta for the sake of achieving the welfare of myself and others. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas residing in 10 directions, please listen. For the sake of achieving complete enlightenment, for now on I shall generate bodhicitta. I go for enlightenment of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. I shall generate bodhicitta for the sake of achieving the welfare of myself and others. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas residing in the 10 directions, please listen. For the sake of achieving complete enlightenment, for now on I shall generate bodhicitta. Everywhere may the ground be pure, for the earth the pebbles and so forth. May the nature of soft fire, as smooth as the palm of one's hand. May human and divine offerings actually arranged and mentally created, clouds of finest Samantha are offerings to the entire space. Om Namo Bhagavate the power of the truth of three earths, sublime ones, the thousands of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the completed two collections, the sphere of phenomena being pure and inconceivable. These piles of clouds of offerings arising to transformation by the Bodhisattvas, Madhavada, Madrishi, and so forth, unimaginable and inexhaustible, they in the sky arise, presence the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the 10 directions we receive. Om Namo Manjushri Namazu Shri Nama Uttama Shri Zuham Om Namo Manjushri Namazu Shri Nama Uttama Shri Zuham Om Namo Manjushri Namazu Shri Nama Uttama Shri Zuham. The founder Bhagavan had a heart for like the Buddhist Buddha. Glorious God, Shakyamuni Buddha, I prostrate. The founder Bhagavan had a heart for like the Buddhist Buddha. Glorious God, Shakyamuni Buddha, I prostrate. The founder Bhagavan had a heart for like the Buddhist Buddha. Glorious God, Shakyamuni Buddha, I prostrate. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering actually imagined. I declare all my negative actions and downfalls accumulated since beginningless time. I judge the virtues of all others and ordinary beings. Please remain at the end of existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for migrating beings. Dedicate my own of those virtues to great enlightenment. Yin Zaji, Om and Vargyam, Nidrigo Yugi Guru Rigya Bhari Rab Jal Baba, God Zambuling, Lubalan Judran Ramini, Ludan Lubang, Ayadun Yudin Ladra, Draminian Draminian Gita, Rimbaje, Rewo, Balangi, Dujuiba, Mama Baila, Golo Rimbaje, Nobu Rimbaje, Rimbaje, Lambo Rimbaje, Lambo Rimbaje, Lambo Rimbaje, Lambo Rimbaje, Legend Boy Bomba, Gilma, Duma, Luma, Gama, Niduma, Duboma, Nangzuma, Drijama, Dima, Dawa, Bujedu, Surlay number, Gilway, Gilbzin, Uzubanami, Bildu, Bumzum, Zobama, Zangwame, Bazan, Ilido, Yadrinjan Zawadang Yubaji Bebelden Lama Damba Landa Aduyam Baju Tuji Jambola Zogodan Jivana Gambu Argyo Tuji Druvedam Tuji Suzo Minidanda Zudruwa Manginam Gitaranyam Bes Damjila Duksewa Jimbo Boni Jingila Duzon and must achieve the precious state of perfect complete Buddhahood with the sake of all mother sentient beings, equal to space. Therefore, I also take the Mahayana of restoring and purifying ordination and protect it well until sunrise tomorrow. For 10 billion aeons equaling the number of sands grains in the Pacific Ocean, if one offers umbrellas, flags, garlands of light offerings of fruit and drink with a calm mind, if one offers service to 100 billion times 10 billion Buddhas, when the Harley Dharma has become extremely rare and the teachings of the one God of bliss have stopped, the merit of somebody who's living in one vow for one day or night is particularly more exalted than if he made all his offerings. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dwelling in the 10 directions, please pay attention to me. This is the previous Tathagata heart for the Buddha Buddhas, like the divine wise horse and good elephant. As to be done, formed actions laid out the burden. Subsequent hand their own welfare could be exhausted the fetters to existence. Perfect speech, well-liberated minds, well-liberated wisdom. The welfare of all sentient beings, and those that benefit, and those that liberate. In order to eliminate famine, and eliminate war, and also to harm the four elements. And to eliminate sickness, and to complete the seven practices of learning with enlightenment. Because it actually is the answer for us to perfect, complete enlightenment. Perfectly perform the storing and purifying of the nation. Similarly, also my home gods in the God this time and the sunrise tomorrow, will serve all sentient beings and the benefit of the liberate, and then the eliminate famine, and then the warn us of the harm, the four elements, and then eliminate sickness, that will complete the practice of learning of enlightenment. And that actually is the answer for us to the perfect, complete enlightenment. To perfectly understand the storing and purifying of the nation. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dwelling in the directions, please pay attention to me. This is the previous Tathagata heart of the completed Buddhas who, like the divine wise horse and the good elephant, do that to be done, formed actions lay down the burden, so to attain their own welfare, to be lost the fetters to existence, and perfect speech, whatever the mind, whatever the wisdom, welfare of all sentient beings, and the benefit of the liberate, and the light famine, and the eliminate war, and the stop the harm, and the four elements, and the eliminate sickness, and the complete the seven practice, and the wisdom of enlightenment. The actually the answer has to start to perfect complete enlightenment, the perfectly perform the soaring and proving the nation. Similarly, also my home God in the God womb from this and as to tomorrow, welfare of all sentient beings and after the benefit of those who liberate, and the eliminate famine, and the eliminate war, not to harm the four elements, and the eliminate sickness, and that will complete the seven practices of monarchs with enlightenment, and the did actually the answer possessed to start perfect complete enlightenment, to perfectly undertake the soaring and purifying of the nation. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas dwelling in the 10 directions, please pay attention to me. This is the previous Tathagata heart of the completed Buddhas who, like the divine wise horse and the good elephant that has to be done, whom actions lay down the burden, subsequently attain their own welfare, the exhausted the fetters to existence, in their perfect speech, well liberated minds, well liberated wisdom, welfare of all sentient beings, and the benefit and to liberate, and then eliminate famine, and eliminate war, and sorrow, and the fallen elements, then eliminate sickness, as what they complete certain practices, minister enlightenment, that expands us so they complete enlightenment, perfectly inform the soaring of the nation. Similarly, also my home called in the God from the sun and tomorrow, welfare of all sentient beings, and the benefit and to liberate, and to eliminate famine and eliminate war, stop the harm of the four elements, and eliminate sickness, and to complete the seven practices and minister of enlightenment. The Vedic survey the answer with all the perfect complete enlightenment, to perfectly undertake the storing and purifying ordination. For now on I shall not kill, I shall not steal others' possessions, I shall not engage in sexual activity, I shall not speak false words. Because many mistakes arise from intoxicants, I shall avoid intoxicants. I shall not sit on large, high, expensive beds, and eat food at the wrong times. I shall not use perfumes, garlands, or ornaments. I shall avoid singing, dancing, and playing music. This is the arhat of avoiding wrong actions, taking the lives of others. I shall avoid wrong actions, taking the lives of others. I could get enlightenment in the living world which is experiencing the very sufferings, those from the speculative existence. Jila Zambara Bara Bahama Jura Zadra Baba Vibujida Buddha Dara Dara Zamanda Gita Umbe Zuham Oma Moga Jila Zambara Bara Bahama Jura Zadra Baba Vibujida Buddha Dara Dara Zamanda Abalagide Rumbe Zuham Wama Moga Jila Zambara Barbara Ajura Zanra Baba Vibujidam Nadara Dara Zananda Abalagide Rumbe Zuham They maintain flawless morality without morals and immaculate morality. They include the perfection of moral conduct by competing morality merely inflated by pride. The precious mind, the free mind of bodhicitta, and arises and go, has been limited not to finish but increase more and more. Because of the merits of taking the ordination and keeping the precepts, may I and all sentient beings give the two enlightened holy bodies created by two vast accumulations of expanded and transcendental wisdom. May all beings everywhere plagued by sufferings of body and mind, condition of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May the ludicrous who suffer medieval ever fall ill. May one be afraid of little the mind dead on the depression. The blind see forms, the deaf hear sounds. Those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored and find in repose. The naked find clothing, the hungry find food, they find water and delicious drinks. The poor find wealth, the stupid power find joy. The forlorn find hope, confident happiness and prosperity. There be timely rains and bountiful harvests. All medicines be effective and also bearers bear fruit. As there are sick and ill could be treated in their ailments. Whatever disease there are in the world may they never occur again. The frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. Powerless find power and be benefiting each other. As long as space remains, as long as human beings remain, may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Lamakian, Lamakian, Lamakian. Lama Dugi Gulani Zuwadzu Niji Badu Gundu Ramedi Zozui Yiji Gilme Ranam Gyawayan Ladin Dini Dindrin Lama Vingi Duli Dadu Lama Lonju Zoborni Nizu Hadibzo Niji Vado Gundu Yi den den lama lon ju su nang yuan. Ma du de la ni ne zo a de zo. Di ji ba du gun du de me de zo zong yi. Zoom ye me ro la me zog zo yawan. Ni ni den den la ma wen ye wo jik ni. Zoom ye me la ma ni ne zo wa de zoom. Ni ji va du gun du de me ji zo zong yi. Iram ji dro rab jang gun yang la me ram yin. In den la ma ni le yi dang luk zu men ben. Idang gundu lama ni zu wa de zu. Iji vadu gundu rame zu zong yi. Zong yi gungi ji zu lame nam pa yu wei. In lama ni le zang ye luk zu mi mi. Zang ye gundu lama ni ne zu wa de zu. Iji vadu gundu rame de zu zong yi. Yabun Yanzen Veram Zulamayu Bajorik Zongan Yan Lamaniyam Vizunidunamani Nezoarizum Iji Bado Gandura Meji Zozungi Vigyaring Arik Zondinye Droyanamam Digun Gandura Vegyadani Yanlamam Lama Rigunda Borni Nezuvadzu Diji Badugundura Medizozunji Zange Judangin Dungungi Jibolamam Jidogyam Zongandurin Lamanim Yagundu Yalamani Nezowanzo Dini Badugundur Yamein Zuzashi Zungiram Zulame Nambajaning The waited Zuz and Zuzangiram Zungi Bombay Gilden Yam Dadalam Manulam Zon and Zuzangiram Adrenum Nigadun Jeden Zangenyen Gidudam Gam Mano Ning Polendo Zamyan Lamadrenu Lu Boji Weju Jan Rangi Du Bab Name Jijadu Menga Zo Zamyan Lamadrenu Zendi Bunzo Gundan Danda Lu Bodra Name Jibodo Wenga Zo Zamyan Lamadrenu Jirunya Weminara Ludembalung Name Rame Bengang Zo Zamyan Lamadrenu Gilji Yidani Zo Zegom Judik Mebe Dünyal Munzun Yanzo Zamyan Lamadrenu Mondun Rugyune Jindu Midu Gyangyan Nendraram Dunyam Zuzamyan Lamadrenu Yandagyan Zone De Dandalum Anyewen Nilegya Begya Vizamyan Lamadrenu Manalegin Yazib Dinga Way Jugdo Nijin Lerlen Zuzamyan Lamadrenu Dame Zibezun Gandung Yao Gengi Jungung Dile Taweda Zizamyan Lamadrenu Nivrun Zizulando Gagyanyan Dhamagin Yinarweng Azuzamyan Lamadrenu Nujulam Zuzundarim Nizamon Yom Yom Megular Gewala Medingilobjig Yudragidun Zambeda Bezenzadenjir Namzum Zejidravazum Bajingilobjig Rogun Rani Jivudu Wela Zamburgi Jendon Duzem Jodum Bajingilobjig Jengel Zedu Bebatado Bining Dom Yavaget Zodu Zodu Bajingilobjig Nanden Drunan Di Drudi Dudrawe Nadril the way on Zedo Bajingilobjig Yigiji Bado Guzum Lamdu Girwe Minjenium Nyan Yodu Gewajingilobjig Zemu Madim Vega Jido Hiruva Yimela Guni Dudrawajingilobjig Zinjum Babu Benyume Rangel Zinbam Niludon Gila Majawajingilobjig Dribni droba zebede jendo gulong du. Na la me zang zo ni du dingi lobji. No na dan jen baru ni udra me jugne. Na je bu yi zen ba ze wei dingi lobji. Lama kyan, lama kyan, lama. In space like Dharmakaya, 100,000 clouds gather with water of compassion driven by, granting a rain of cities to benefit all beings whose guilt Bani I make to the Gilom Abam, who's gone to supreme freedom, Chandra Kumara, master of the life, to Arya Yeshizam, strong effort, faith, and patience, to these three friends, beings I made with, to Penyawa of Nepal, supreme amongst gods, the one Yotze, emanation of Jinri, to Nibuchukidra, whose mastered realization to these great bodies, Zadvas I make incarnate Doje Gyampu, Bodhisattva with relics, O great and humble, scholar Shantundra, compassionate John to Behum, whose bread's moralities illuminators of the path I request. Devajan who attain countless concentrations to John Juba, who sees the gods in Yidam. Yeje Bom who possesses a treasury of virtues to you who fulfill wishes I make request. Dogme Zong who hope day, power of Bodhicitta, sharing the mind, trails manifestation. To soldier who protect, migrators with compassion, to you work for, others I make request. To you, Yun Ten Rinchen, holy leader of beings, Wang Zhu, who have mastered Buddha's teaching. To Gyabju Bel, who guide countless embodied beings, to you living the doctrine I make request. To ends above the hero who mastered all the hardships, to Zangi Yeshe, who fulfills all our hopes. Lo Zang Zhigen, who sees all the objects of knowledge, to these three holy saviors I make request. To Damsik Dorje with all supreme realization, Lozang Yeshe, Lord over all the family. To Dunyo Kedrubje, who clarifies the whole path to these lamps of love, doctrine I make request. To Ma Huang choked in with the wisdom of the five knots, Kelzang Yanzu, seven Dalai Lama, teaching the doctrine of these Guardians for Savior, you clarifying Lama I make request. Manifestation of compassion and sharp wisdom, unified in all pervading your nature, appearing as an ocean of deities and mandalas do aspects of raising I make request. Padmavani while you are enjoying the Buddha, you constantly protect us like your own child. As we drink the essence of the Mayanasphere nectar, bless us with our three doors to only please you. Please grant to us your blessing, to renounce all samsara, to not desire joys of personal peace, to generate a supreme mind wishing to liberate all mothers that is based from all their suffering. Please bless us to not grasp at ordinary appearance by holding divine pride with clear appearance of the six deities, such mantras and letters, prepared body with marks, mudra, and song. Please bless us to achieve all supreme realization by four branch repetitions, concentration, and actualize samadhi with the yoga of love, absorbs into fire and into sound. Please bless us to destroy both obscurations fully, having in merit and the concentration, which like space is freed from bogus untrue existence, which grants the immaculate liberation. Please bless us to attain the radiating body of wisdom clearly, seeing all existence, to act spontaneously, to ripen and liberate each of the five classes of hands migrated. I instantaneously arise as the holy body of the great compassionate one. Manda great home, hey, on Zubawa Judo, Dama Zubawa Judo home. The offering substance become just empty. From within emptiness and brim syllables, vast and extensive precious vessels arise. Within each the syllable all melts into light, which arise drinking water, water for the feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music. Empty in nature, they have the aspect of the individual types of offerings, and function to bestow special uncontaminated bliss. I go for refuge to some lame enlightened of the Buddha that I'm on the Supreme Assembly. My collection's generosity and so forth, and I become a Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. I go for refuge to the lame enlightened of the Buddha that I'm on the Supreme Assembly. My collections of generosity and so forth, from a Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. I go for refuge to the lame enlightened of the Buddha that I'm on the Supreme Assembly. My collections of generosity and so forth, from a Buddha to benefit all migrating beings. Without desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge to the Buddha, Rama, and Sangha. The heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, in the presence of the Buddhas, the benefit of any beings that have the thought of enlightenment. With the thought desiring to liberate migrating beings, I always go for refuge to the Buddha, Rama, and Sangha. So the heart of enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness, in the presence of the Buddhas, the benefit of sentient beings, and the thought of enlightenment. Thought desiring to liberate migrating beings, I also go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I love enlightenment is achieved. Perseverance, acting with wisdom, compassion, and loving kindness in the presence of the Buddhas. Benefit of sentient beings that are not thought of enlightenment. Rays of light emanate from the white tree that rests on the moon disk with the heart of oneself, visualized as the great compassionate one. Invoking from the natural abode, Gloria Arya, great compassionate one. Having the aspect of 11 faces, surrounded by the root and lineage gurus. The assembly of deities is the great compassionate one. An assembly of multitudes of meditational deities, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dakas, and Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, all abiding in the space before me on a wide-stemmed, thousand-petaled lotus. Embodying all Buddhas and holders of the Vajra, who serve the three sublime ones to whoever is prostrate. One never tires of seeing your Vajra body's beauty. Its qualities beyond thought, to Guru's forms I prostrate. Melodious Brahma-like speech roars like the mighty lion. It terrifies non-believers, to Guru's feet I prostrate. Wisdom of bliss and voidness, like spaces free of concepts. Dwelling in triple freedom, to Guru's minds I prostrate. Sugata's Dharmakaya, you see all six realms beings. 11 dead pervades all, to Amitabha I prostrate. Who helps according to need, with eyes of thousand Buddhas, with arms of thousand monarchs, to Chenrezig I prostrate. Dakini Lakshman Karla, Hari and Dao Yeje Zompoda Gelsen, lineage I prostrate. Chenrezig's great compassion, Drushu's mindful knowing. Tsongkhapa Jula sages, Lozong Drakpa I prostrate. Guarding with great compassion, oceans of boundless merit. Founders who are unknowing, Tantakadas I prostrate. The path of sublime meaning, which frees us from our passions, frees us from suffering realms, to Dharma's peace I prostrate. Abiding in three trainings, showing the path of freedom, endowed with realization, sublime Sangha I prostrate. Guarding according to the Shakya clan, destroyer of all evils, form like a golden mountain, to Shakya's king I prostrate. A refuge for the guileless who prevent untimely death. Chief of the guides of this world, Amitayas I prostrate. Bhagavan with great compassion, you cleanse every poison sickness, purify bad migrations, Lapis Buddha I prostrate. You with youthful appearance, adorned with lamp of wisdom, dispel darkness of three worlds, Manjushri I prostrate. Much praised by all the Buddhas, vast merits you collected. Given the name Chenrezi, always to you I prostrate. Sangidra, Nijinor, Pamabawa, Dum Yoshak. Into you, Hala Hala, Chenrezi, I prostrate. Sagin Dorje, True One True, Dringonam Hari Hari. Areas of 10 directions, all Chenrezi, I prostrate. Tari frees from samsara, to Tari from the atheist. Tari frees from all disease, Mother Tara, I prostrate. You scare as Mahabala, as Mantra King, your virtues. Taming all the unsubdued, Vajrapani, I prostrate. Equaling all the atoms of earth, my body is prostrate. With confidence unshaking, to all those worthy of praise. Homage to the youthful Arya Manjushri. You lions among humans, of past, present, and future. In all corners and of this world, with all my three doors I bow. By the power of this prayer, seeing Buddhas directly, I bow to them with bodies as many as all atoms. On each atom are Buddhas as many as all atoms. Like this I have conviction that everywhere are Buddhas, acclaiming all these Buddhas within those oceans of praise. Ocean-like melodious sounds I sing Sugata's praises, the best of all the flowers, garlands, symbols, and ointments. As parasols and incense I offer to the conquerors, supreme fragrances, garments, and mountain air of medicines. Exquisite things well displayed I offer to the conquerors. With strong faith in good actions I prostrate to all conquerors, and offer them these offerings extensive and unsurpassed. Offering goddesses arise from the syllable Hri at once hard to make offerings. Umarya Lugishvara Zabarivahan Adam Bradija Zuha Umarya Lugishvara Zabarivahan Adam Bradija Zuha Umarya Lugishvara Zabarivahan Uzbe Bradija Zuha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivar Dube Bradija Zuha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivar Aluge Bradija Zuha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivar Yende Bradija Zuha Maria Lugishvara Zabariva Nivedye Bradija Zuha Maria Lugishvara Zabariva Sada Bradija Zuha Zajibulgi Joido Ramri Radlingi Nidegen Bari Zangendo Nedevulagi Yogunam Nalinam Javayo Idam Guranamandala Gandarya Dayami. Whatever evil I have done with my body, speech, and mind, under the control of attachment, hatred, and confusion, ignorance, I confess them all individually. Om Namo Manjushrihe Namazushrihe Namahu Tamashrihe Zoham Om Namo Manjushrihe Namazushrihe Namahu Tamashrihe Zoham Om Namo Manjushrihe Namazushrihe Namahu Tamashrihe Zoham. I did the gadget through at all times, take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. I did the gadget through at all times, take refuge in the Guru. Take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. I did the gadget through at all times, take refuge in the Guru. Take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. As the founder of Bhagavan Dhara, the published Buddha, always conquer Shakyamuni Buddha, prostrate. Ragada thoroughly strong vibration for prostrate, Ragada radiant jewel, I prostrate. Ragada King Lord of the Nagas, I prostrate. Ragada army of heroes, I prostrate. Ragada delighted hero, I prostrate. Ragada jewel fire, I prostrate. Ragada jewel moonlight, I prostrate. Ragada meaning for the sea, I prostrate. Ragada jewel moon, I prostrate. Ragada stainless when I prostrate. Ragada bestowed with courage, I prostrate. Ragada pure when I prostrate. Ragada bestowed with purity, I prostrate. Ragada water God, I prostrate. Ragada deity of the water God, I prostrate. Ragada glorious goodness, I prostrate. Ragada glorious sandalwood, I prostrate. Ragada infinite splendor, I prostrate. Ragada glorious light, I prostrate. Ragada starless glory, I prostrate. Ragada son of uncraving, I prostrate. Ragada glorious flower, I prostrate. Ragada pure light, lotus glowing known by play, I prostrate. Ragada lotus light, school known by play, I prostrate. Ragada glorious wealth, I prostrate. Ragada glorious mindfulness, I prostrate. Ragada glorious name, money renowned, I prostrate. Ragada king, hold the victory banner for one's power, I prostrate. Ragada glorious and totally subduing, I prostrate. Ragada utterly victorious in battle, I prostrate. That I got a glorious triumphant through subduing, I prostrate. That I got a glorious manifestation, illuminating all, I prostrate. That I got a all subduing, Jew loves, I prostrate. That I got a have a Buddha. King Lord of the Mountains from his seat and the lotus I prostrate. And the founder Bhagavan had a heart full of kiddos Buddha. Glorious conquer Shaki Muni of Buddha prostrate, that I got a third of the Shogun's Badations I prostrate. I get a radiant jewel I prostrate, that I got a Lord of the Nagas I prostrate. I got a army of heroes I prostrate, that I got a delighted hero I prostrate. That I got a jewel fire I prostrate, that I got jewel moonlight I prostrate. That I got a meaningful to see I prostrate, that I got a jewel moon I prostrate, that I got a stainless one I prostrate. That I got a bestowed with courage I prostrate, that I got a pure one I prostrate, that I got a bestowed with beauty I prostrate. That I got a water God I prostrate. That I got a deity of the water God I prostrate. That I got a that I got a glorious goodness I prostrate. That I got a glorious sand what I prostrate. That I got a the splendor I prostrate. That I got a glorious light I prostrate. That I got a that I got a uh, glorious solid glory I prostrate. That I got a son of them craving I prostrate. That I got a glorious light I prostrate. That I got a glorious flower I prostrate. That I got a clear pure light square number player prostrate. That I got a lotus lotus prayer number player prostrate. That I got a glorious wealth I prostrate. That I got a glorious mindfulness I prostrate. That I got a glorious name on even I prostrate. That I got a king hold the victor ben a promise power I prostrate. That I got a glorious intelligence doing I prostrate. That I got a victorious in battle I prostrate. That I got a glorious transcendence of doing I prostrate. That I got a glorious manifestation of getting all I prostrate. That I got a also during June lotus I prostrate. That I got a harp. That I got a bit of Buddha. King Lord of the mountains from my seat and June lotus I prostrate. The founder Bhagavan Hara Karapalaka Buddhist Buddha, glorious Kokar Shaki Mini Buddha I prostrate. The good of Theralis during the God essence I prostrate. The good of Radiant Jewel I prostrate. The Dagada King Lord of the Nagas I prostrate. The Dagada Army of Heroes I prostrate. The Dagada Delighted Hero I prostrate. The Dagada Jewel Fire I prostrate. The Dagada Jewel Moonlight I prostrate. The Dagada Meaningful to See I prostrate. The Dagada Jewel Moon I prostrate. The Dagada Stainless One I prostrate. The Dagada Sword of Courage I prostrate. The Dagada Pure One I prostrate. The Dagada Sword of Spirit I prostrate. Tagada water gada prostrate, tagada deity, the water gada prostrate, tagada glorious goodness of prostrate, tagada glorious mindfulness, glorious and water prostrate, tagada infinite splendor prostrate, tagada glorious light I prostrate, tagada starless glory I prostrate, tagada son of one craving I prostrate, tagada glorious flower I prostrate, tagada pure light display number player prostrate, tagada lotus light display number light player prostrate. To the Tagada glorious wealth I prostrate, the Tagada glorious mindfulness I prostrate, the Tagada glorious name honor renowned I prostrate, the Tagada King hold the victor ben I promise power I prostrate. To the Tagada glorious mentalities of doing I prostrate, the Tagada utterly victorious in battle I prostrate. Tagada glorious transcendency subduing I prostrate, the Tagada glorious name widely renowned I prostrate, glorious manifestation illuminating all I prostrate, the Tagada also doing Lotus I prostrate. Gadagada harp of the wicked Buddha. King Lord of the mountains from me, that I should notice I prostrate. The founder Bhagavan the Bhagavan Hadaraga heart, Buddha Buddhist Buddha. Young glorious King of excellent signs I prostrate. The Bhagavan Hadaraga heart, Buddha Buddhist Buddha. King Buddha sound, Buddha Vedic skill, Buddha Jerusalem, Lotus I prostrate. The Bhagavan Hadaraga heart, Buddha Buddhist Buddha. Same as excellent gold, in the living jewel, who accomplishes all conduct I prostrate. The Bhagavan Hadaraga Buddhist Buddha. Um, glorious one, supreme from free from sorrow, I prostrate. Bhagavan Hara, the Gadapaлагad Buddhist Buddha, glorious ocean, I proclaim Dharma, I prostrate. Bhagavan Hara, the Gadapaлагad Buddha, clearly with the play of supreme and motion of Dharma, I prostrate. The Bhagavan Hara, the Gadapaлагad Buddhist Buddha, medicine deity, king of sapphire light, I prostrate. All you 35 Buddhas, 7 medicine Buddhas, and others, and many Tathagata heart reflected Buddhas are existing, sustaining and residing on the world system, the 10 directions. All you Buddha Bhagavans, please pay attention to me. This life and all other states of rebirth in which I have circled in samsara through beginningless lives. Whatever negative actions I have created, metaphysics created, and duration the creation of. Whatever positions of stupid, positions of the song, or positions of the song of the 10 directions that I have appropriated. Neither is appropriated duration the appropriation of, which are among the actions, the 5 actions of meter retribution I have done. Cause to be done, or the doing of. Which from the non virtuous paths of action that I have engaged in, called others to engage in, and duration the engaging in. Whatever I have done becomes good with these karmas that have caused me to be born in the hell, instead of being the hell realm, the animal realm, the Preta realm. In the religious countries of the barbarian, there is long life God, with his faculties holding wrong views and not being pleased with Buddha's descent. The presence of Buddha Bhagavans who are changed under wisdom, or eyes or witnesses who are valid, who see with unmission consciousness, I admit confess with negativities. I will not conceal them nor hide them, then for now in the future I'll abstain and refrain from committing them again. All Buddha Bhagavans, please pay attention to me, so I can all sit to rebirth in which I have circumstance and throughout beginning this lives. And if roots of virtue are created by generosity, with littlest beginning with mouth filled food of being born in the animal realm. Whatever roots of virtue are created by jotting morality, whatever roots of virtue are created by following pure conduct, whatever roots of virtue are created by fully repeating sentient beings, the virtue of virtue are created by generating the bodhicitta, the virtue of virtue are created by man's question and the wisdom. All these assembled and gathered, combined together, I fully dedicate the unsick self that is best, that are higher than the high, that spirit is superior. So completely dedicated to the highest, perfect, complete enlightenment. This is the previous Buddha Bhagavan, the fully dedicated to future Buddha Bhagavan, will fully dedicate. This is the presently abiding Buddha Bhagavan, the fully dedicating like the dedicate fully. I confess all negativities individually of virtue and all merits. Our duration requests all Buddhas, and may I achieve the highest wisdom. The conqueror is the best of humans, those who are living in the present time, those living in the past, and those likewise come. So all those of qualities of vast as an into the ocean with the hands folded airports for refuge. I rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions. We realize there's spiritual training in those beyond, sent to mind good beings. You who are the bright lights of worlds in 10 directions, attain the Buddha's omniscience through stages of awakening. All you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With poems together, our initial request you may actualize fairy nirvana. You save us for ends and endless that of the world, happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight virtue I've accumulated by prostrating, offering, and confessing, rejoicing, enduring, requesting, I dedicate it all to full awakening. Om Namo Gajila Zambara Barabara Ajuda Zadra Baba Vibujida Jadara Dara Zamanda Abulgide Humbe Zuha Om Namo Gajila Zambara Barabara Ajuda Zadra Baba Vibujida Bujadara Dara Zamanda Abalugide Humbe Zuha Om Amogajila Zambara Bara Bara Majuda Zadva Baba Vibujida Buddha Dara Dara Zamanda Abalugide Humbe Zuha. Zambara Bara Bara Majuda Dara Baba Vibujida Buddha Dara Zamanda Abalugide Humbe Zuha. May I maintain flawless morality of the Dharma rules and immaculate morality. May I complete the perfection of moral conduct by keeping morality purely and untainted by pride. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be severed in the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred for those that are close and distant. May all sentient beings of happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred with those that are close and distant. May all sentient beings of happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings never be separated from the happiness that knows no suffering. Abide in equanimity, free of attachment and hatred with those that are close and distant. May it be open to us there. Om Subhava Jiru Zavadama Subhava Jiru Om. Natures of myself, they be meditated upon, and all phenomena are void essence in one day for empty. From the sphere of emptiness, the aspect of the tone of the mantra Mani Padme Hum resounds, pervading the realm of space. My mind, in the aspect of the undifferentiable suchness of myself and the deity, becomes a moon mandala, upon which the very aspect of the tone of the mantra resounding in space is set down, having the form of written syllables, like very pure mercury adhering to grains of gold. That completely transforms into a thousand-petaled lotus, is brilliant as refined gold, marked at the center by the mantra Mani Padme Hum. From the tips of multicolored light rays emitted from the moon and lotus and mantra, innumerable holy bodies of the Arya Avalokiteshvara spread out, fading on the realms of space. Great clouds of miraculously emanated offerings, a beautifully offered to the Buddhas and their children. We had another great emanated cloud, a continuous rain of nectar descends, extinguishing the fires of suffering of all migrated to the heaven of the realm. They are satisfied with bliss and become Avalokiteshvara. Then the light rays, along with the bodies of the deity, return and entered in one's own mind the aspect of the moon mandala, lotus, and mantra garland. These transform into a multicolored lotus and moon seat, upon which oneself arises as Arya Avalokiteshvara, with a white-colored body in the prime of youth and radiating rays of light. Of the 11 faces, the root face is white, the right green, and the left red. Above that, the central face is green, the right red, and the left white. Above that, the central face is red, the right white, and the left green. They also have long, narrow eyes and smiling expressions. Above these is a wrathful black face with barred fangs and wrathful wrinkles. A third eye and orange hair standing upright. On the crown is a peaceful red face with a crown protrusion, having a chaste aspect, devoid of ornaments, of its own neck. The first two hands are folded at the heart and hold a jewel. The second right hand holds a rosary. The third eliminates the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghosts by sending down a stream of nectar from the Buddha getting sublime realizations. And the fourth holds a wheel. The second left hand holds a golden lotus with a stem. The third holds a water vessel. The fourth holds a bow and arrow. The remaining 992 hands as soft as lotus petals, are in the mood of granting sublime realizations. In the palm of every hand is an eye. The hands do not extend above the crown protrusion, nor below the knee. An antelope skin covers the left breast, and there is a lower garment of fine cloth. I am endowed with a golden belt adorned with jewels, and beautified with locks of orange hair. I have a jeweled crown, earrings, necklace, armlets, bracelets, and anklets, were garments of various colored silks and radiant rays of white light. At the crown of the central head is a white Om, the throat a red Ah, at the heart a blue Hum. Upon a moon mandala at the heart is a white Hri, with a long vowel and subsequent aspiration. Om Bhamahid Bhavai Zoham. 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 Light rays radiate from the Hri at the heart, invoking from the natural abode Arya of the Lokiteshvara, surrounded by the entire assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Om Arya Lokiteshvara Saridriya Adasamaya Dada Om Bam Ho. They become non-dual with oneself like an admin being. Again, light rays radiate from the Hri at one's heart, invoking the empowering deities. The five Buddha families with Amitabha as their principal, together with their retinues. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Aram Bradijazuha. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Aram Bradijazuha. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Ujbe Bradijazuha. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Dube Bradijazuham. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Aluge Bradijazuham. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Gyande Bradijazuham. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Nyevedye Bradijazuham. Om Panchakula Sabarivam Abda Bradijazuham. All Tathagatas, please bestow the empowerment upon me. Requested thus, the goddess dressed in white and the others were emitted from the Tathagata's hearts. Hold the love vases filled with nectar and sang. This is at the very time of birth, the day Vedasa ablution to the Buddha. So do I with pure divine water offer ablution to the holy body. Om Zara Dada Gada Vijigada Samaya Vijayahum. And bestow the empowerment. Thereby the entire body is filled and all the violence are purified. By transformation, the excess water remaining on the crown. The head becomes adorned with the Amitabha on the crown, who is in the very nature of one's guru. Blue Akshobhya on the forehead, yellow Ratnasambhava behind the right ear, white Varochana at the back, and Green Moga City behind the left ear. On a moon cushion at one's heart is the exalted wisdom being Arya Avalokiteshvara, with a white-colored body, one face, and two hands. The right hand is in the mood of bestowing sublime realizations. Left foot is a lotus at his heart. The moon cushion at his heart is marked by the concentration being a white Hri, the long vowel and subsequent aspiration. and agreed home, the offering substances become just empty. From within emptiness, from brim syllables, vast and extensive precious vessels arise. Within each syllable all melts into light, from which arise drinking water, water for the feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music. Empty nature of the aspect of the individual types of offerings, the function to bestow special uncontaminated and unlimited bliss. Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Arvam Pradija Duha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Aryam Pradija Duha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Lujbe Pradija Duha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Dube Bradija Zua Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Luge Bradija Zua Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Yande Bradija Zua Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Nivedye Bradija Duha Maria Lugishvara Zabarivan Nanda Bradija. Highly venerated by all the Buddhas, you accumulated all holy qualities. I've heard the name of Avalokiteshvara. Worship the always merciful one. Om Guru Zawa Dada Gada Gaya Bhakti Devadra Pana Mena Zawa Dada Gada Bada 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 Nangarogi Om Matamari Jayado Matamari Jayado Matamari Jayado Matamari Jayado Matamari Jayado Matamari Jayado Matamari Jayado. On a moon disk at one's heart is a concentration being the syllable Hari, surrounded by garlands of the mantras to be recited, white in color and standing clockwise. Light rays radiate from them, filling all the insides of one's body and purifying all negativities and obscurations. Light rays radiate outwards from within an incalculable assembly of deities with a great compassion and one remitted, purifying the negativities and obscurations of all sentient beings, and setting them in the state of Arya Lokasvara. They then collect back and dissolve into the heat oneself. Namurannadraya Namarya Dhyanam Zaigara Varujam Gurajaya Tadagadayam Arhadizam Yagsam Buddha Namazarva Tadagadevyar Hadevyam Samyak Zambudevya Namahari Avalokita Varaya Bodhisattvaya Mahazadvaya Mahakarunika Ayada Om Daradaka Diri Diri Duru Edevade Zale Zale Brazale Brazale Uzume Uzumawari Limilete Dibala Mabana Yizwa. Twinkles in their right and the so home. Money, 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 money. Money, money. But Mr. Vasamayo Manapaya, the Damabaho, the Damabaho, the Bokanamabaho, the Damabaho, the Zagamazama, the Dominican of Havaman, the Mr. Vasamayo Manapaya, the Damabaho, the Damabaho, the Bokanamabaho, the Umba Mandagiro Om Zabhavajira Zavadama Zabhavajira Om. The mandala becomes just empty. From within emptiness is a white broom radiating 5-colored light rays. Separates from the Hri at my heart and comes to rest at the side of the mandala. It transforms into a multicolored lotus, on which rests a multicolored cross of Vajra. Upon its central hub is the inestimable mansion, composed of a variety of jewels. It is square with 4 doors and 4 archways. In the middle of that is an 8-petaled lotus, the center of which is the precious throne, upon which are variegated lotus and moon. On each of the petals of the 4 directions of the moon seat. Upon the central cushion is a white syllable Hri, which becomes a white 8-petaled lotus, as brilliant as a fine golden mark by the syllable Hri. Light rays radiate from it, making offerings to the Arya beings and then electing the welfare of all sentient beings. They collect back from the transformation arises Arya Avalokiteshvara, with a white-colored body in the form of youth, radiating rays of light. Above the 11 faces, the alert face is white, the right green and the left red. Above that, the central face is green, the right red and the left white. Above that, the central face is red, the right white and the left green. They also have long, narrow eyes and smiling expressions. Above these is the wrathful black face with barred fangs and wrathful wrinkles. The third eye and orange ear standing upright. On its crown is a peaceful red face with a crown protrusion, having a chaste aspect, devoid of ornament and with its own neck. The first two hands are folded at the heart and of the jewel. The second right hand holds a rosary. The third eliminates the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost by sending down a ration of nectar from the remover of getting sublime realizations. And the fourth holds a wheel. The second left hand holds a golden lotus with a stem. The third holds a water vessel, and the fourth holds a bow and arrow. The remaining 992 hands, as soft as lotus petals, are in the mudra of getting sublime realizations. In the palm of every hand is an eye. The hand that extend above the ground protrusion or below the knee. An antelope skin covers the left breast, and there is no lower garment of fine cloth. He is endowed with the golden belt of the jewels, and beautified by with locks of orange hair. He has a jeweled crown, earrings, necklace, armlets, bracelets, and anklets. His garments of various colored silks radiates rays of white light. In the east, from home, blue Akshabia, right hand pressing the earth, left an equipoise. In the south, from Drum, yellow Baba, right hand giving the sublime, left an equipoise. In the west, from home, right Varochana with the mudra of supreme enlightenment. In the north, from Agri and Amoga city, right hand giving refuge, left the mudra of equipoise. They are all also beautified, precious ornaments and garments of various silks, and seated with their legs in the Vajra posture. Upon a lotus and moon disk of the heart, the principal deity is the white Hri, from which light rays radiate, invoking from the Potala in the southern direction. Arya Avalokiteshvara is surrounded by the entire assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. Oh Maria Lugishvara Zabare Wara Badarza Maya Bamho. They become non-dual with the commitment beings. The crowns of all the deities are marked by a white Om, the throats by a red Ah, and the hearts by a blue Hum. Again, light rays radiate from the Hri at the central deity's heart, invoking the empowering deities, the 5 Buddha families, with Amitabha as the principal together with their retinues. Bhanjagula Zabari Wavadam Bradijaluha. Bhanjagula Zabari Wavadam Bradijaluha. Bhanjagula Zabari Wavadam Bradijaluha. Bhanjagula Zabari Duve Bradijazuha. Bhanjagula Zabari Aloge Bradijazuha. Bhanjagula Zabari Yende Bradijazuha. Bhanjagula Zabari Yevedye Bradijazuha Banjagula Zabariwa Yada Bradijazuha. All Tathagatas please bestow the empowerment upon him. Requested thus the goddess dressed in white and the others, who are emitted from the Tathagata's hearts, hold the love vases filled with nectar and say, this is the very time of birth that David offers ablution to the Buddha, that will let appear divine water of ablution to the holy body. Om They bestow the empowerment. Thereby the entire body is filled and all defilements are purified. From a transformation, the excess water remaining in the crown. The head becomes adorned with the red Amitabha on the crown, and Shobhi on the forehead, right Ranasamaha behind the right ear, Vairocana at the back, and Vaimogashiri behind the left ear. Om Bhagavad Om Bham. Om Zabhavajira Zavanam Zabhavajira. The offering substance has become just empty. From within emptiness, the broom from boom syllables, vast and extensive precious vessels arise. Within each, the syllable all melts into light. Its arise, drinking water, water for the feet, flowers, incense, lamps, perfume, food, and music. Empty in nature, they have the aspect of the individual types of offerings. Function to bestow special uncontaminated meditative bliss. Om Argama, Om Bhadima, Ujveam, Om Duveam, Alagyam, Om Gyadayam, Nevidyam, Jabdam, Om Ruba, Om Jabdam, Gyadayam, Om Nevirazam, Om Svarzam. Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Agam Pradijazuham Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Aryam Pradijazuham Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Ujbe Pradijazuham Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Dube Bradijazuham Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Aluge Bradijazuham Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Yende Bradijazuham Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Nivedye Bradijazuha Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Yada Bradijazuha Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Ruba Bradijazuha Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Yada Bradijazuha Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Yende Bradijazuha Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Rasa Bradijazuha Om Arya Logis Valasabhariva Rasa Bradijazuha Om Bhadavajdeya Om Bhada Alam Gadavabhujaniyam Om Bhada Kalaja Ahu Zaji Bogi Jogi Meiro Ramri Rali Nide Gambradi Sange 1,000 arms are 1,000 wielding kings, 1,000 eyes, the explanation 1,000 Buddhas. Prostrate enough for praise, venerable beloved look at the Father who shows that everything is subdued was to be subdued. Also the Dharmakaya is inseparable like space, it form bodies, inseparable like rainbows. Prostrate enough for praise, the five families gone to bliss, in mastery of method and wisdom. Streams of nectar descend from the fingers of both the self and front generations, filling the vase with the nectar of exalted wisdom. Namuradnudraya Namaharya Dhyanam Zaigaravajam Gurajaya Tadagadayam Ahade Samyaksam Buddhaya Namazarva Tadagadevyaradevya Samyaksam Buddhavyam Namarya Valargita Suraya Bodhisattvaya Mahasatvaya Mahakarunikaya Jayada Om Narada Ram Diri Durum Idivade Zale Zale Brazale Brazale Kuzume Kuzumaware Ile Mele Zede Balamabana Yezoham. Namaste. The exalted wisdom beings of the self-generation absorb into the front generation. Upon a lotus and moon disk at the crown of my head is Bhikshuni Lakshmi, Professor Renunciate. With hands folded at her heart, she intercedes with the merit field on my behalf. Wonji dengyun de la jag de long. Lama Ziba Zungi Ruba Mulai Zuwaruda Zambe Ruba Dube Geljo Dube Drubar Zeba Jiden Zungi Gunda Jula Jexelo Deja Bagme Gute Gudan Zimbabwe Vijena Wada Ye Yugen Zimbabwe Jagye Jogin Ida Jagom Zerwabo Jagyon Sigi Bame Nambargin Babo Drijam Relben Grimoire Marzer Yupabo Jure Giboda Wata Burzipabo Jenyi Bama Jokdu Zangxing Yang Babo Kawadong Danam Karding Yin Babo Dream Jab Moti Example de Pabo de Peo Zegareng Marbugin Babo Bame Zodar Jahing Awarde Babo Dungi Dringi Dan Ding Babo Rinjan Mambo Bumbani Nigan Babo Lume Jodaja Pio Jungjing Jumbabo Rida Bupe Numaya Baga Babo Yanchadu Bungek Jingyanang Jawabo Dream Bam Pane choklane pabu. Te wengo ni pane daptar jumbabu. Zegi gerak jugluna bordi pabu. The Zordri Bere Jam Jum Dubs in Babu. Yando Zachen Baro Zimbabo Junye Sunam Mombonye was the Babo Nadu de way Jumne Gawe Zuabo Sundar Zijinga Juju Badam Babo Legendogem Dobong Yewezum Abozegi Ganu Dai Javi Amabu Zambe ne Baji Yun Baze Babu Nambe Rodar Lang Jen Trig Darjik Babu Yong Yewa Zajing Neman Yerwab Ume Tsutan Chuyi Tsule Jawab Ganji Dadu Torang Lang Negupai Chen Rezi Gi Wambo Yilas and Jejin Dove Jodin, Naching their water Jena, Dini Kebam Pume Yang, Gewadi Amma On Gewadam Jedu, Jiden Lede Gubagundrugyo. O my prostrate, you are the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised by the three realms, one who spreads the chief of worldly gods of Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, who fills the wishes of beings, I prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of an noble holy body, creating the body, within it one's gone to bliss, your crown holds the one God of bliss of an infinite light. You the boom generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. I have one a flashing red glitter, or the other garland, a pagan top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon. You lit us like geysers, with an encompassing your pagan body is pure like snow or conch. You wear clusters of lotus, glittering pearls, adorned with beautiful light rays at greater dawn. Your arms are ranging upon of lotus as youthful, of their color autumn clouds. Two shoulders adorned with many jewels, your palms are smoothing of the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by antelope skin, you wear alluring earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You dwell on a supreme stainless lotus, it is your abdomen, is as smooth as a lotus petal. The sublime golden belt with no jewels, you are adorned with beautiful light rays, the red at dawn. Your arms are, two shoulders are adorned with many, you have you wear a skirt with a cloth on the hips. You have able and supreme wisdom, gone beyond the Gedish, inflected a multitude of merit to crowd the supreme state. Expressive concept blessing, spell of aging disease, a triple liberated and spell of holy each of those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in battle with Mars forces, your feet are aligned with the sound of golden anklets. Your eyes light being from self-interest, the four birds of harmony with the swan, the like a proud elephant. You go like a bit of thinking, much and got to the doctrine when they face the ocean, milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum there is dawn is perfectly being level look at his fire in mind and feeling clearly recites the supreme praise. All their mundane and super mundane needs be fulfilled in his life and all future lives. Umar prostrate to the protector of the world, you the guru of the world, praise for the three realms. One who is praised by the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, fills the wishes of beings, I prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, creating the bodies of one's God of bliss, your crown holds the one God of bliss of an infinite light. Your supremely generous right hand is for the hunger and thirst, the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly head on, the gold lotus. One of flashing at your gullet, a fragrant top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon. Your lotus like eyes are expressively encompassing, your fragrant body is pure like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of lotus glittering pearls, you don't have the beautiful light of red at dawn. Your arms are ranging upon of lotuses,
Your youth on the father autumn clouds, your shoulders are many jewels, your palms are smooth, singing the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by club skin, you wear lowering your expresses and ornaments. You dwell on the supreme state of lotus, if your abdomen is as smooth as a lotus petal. Flying with the bed of the red jewels, you wear a skirt that's with a cloth on the hips. You have the one supreme wisdom gone beyond the good ocean, you've collected the multitude of merit to one of the supreme state. You're the source of constant bliss and the spell of aging disease, a triple liberated spell of holy to those enjoying space. Superhuman body being victor in battle with Mara's forces, you feet are alluring. With the sound of golden lake, with twice my beams himself interest, the full buds of Brahma. You move the swans, get like a proud elephant, you pull like a pit of the accumulation, like art of adoption. One in first from the ocean, milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum on earth is a dawn, as sparkly brings that the look far to mine, appealing clearly recites its supreme praise. All the minutes Superman day needs, the wish fulfilled in its life and all future lives. O my prostrate, you the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised by the three realms. The one who is prayed for the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma, praising you, supreme king and sages, fulfills the wishes of beings. I prostrate to the supreme sector of the three realms. Hold of an noble holy body, key to the bodies of it, one's gone to bliss, your crown holds the one gone to bliss of an infinite light. Your supremely generous right hand displays the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. Moon flashing into the garland, a fragrant top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon. Your lotus like eyes are squinted and encompassing, your face, flagrant bodies like snow or a conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, your adorned beautiful areas, the red of dawn, your arms are arranged like a pot of lotuses. Your youth will have the color of autumn clouds. Two shoulders are drawn many jewels, your palms are smooth as any of the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by antelope skin, you are wearing your earrings with ornaments. You dwell on a supreme stainless lotus, it is your abdomen is as smooth as a lotus petal. With have a sublime golden body and the red jewels, your brown uh, you wear a skirt of as gold cloth around the hips. You have the ever one supreme wisdom gone beyond the good ocean. You've collected the multitude of merit to acquire the supreme state, the source of constant bliss, and the spell of raging disease, a triple liberator, and the spell of holy to those enjoying space. Superhuman body being victor in battle with Mara's forces, you feed her ling and salmon golden anklets, you isolate beings from self-interest. The four brothers of Brahma, you move with the swan skin like a proud elephant. You have the liquidity accumulation like after the doctrine, one who preached the ocean of milk and ocean of water. Whatever men or woman arises, the dawn to sparkly brings every look at his far to mind. Until and clearly recites the supreme praise, all the super mundane needs will be fulfilled. In this life and all future lives. O my prostrate too, the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praise for the three realms, the one who is praised by the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of sages, fulfills the wishes of beings, I prostrate you, the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, clean of the bodies, if it one's bound to bliss, your crown holds the one god of bliss, of infinite light. Your supremely generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. With one of flashing in the garland, a fragrant top pair, a face is beautiful like the full moon. The lotus like eyes is encompassing your palm, fragrant body is pure like snow or conch. You wear clusters of flawless glittering pearls, you wear adorned with the beautiful light rest of red of dawn. Your arms are arranged like a pond of lotuses, you will have the color of autumn clouds. At your shoulders are many jewels, your palms are smooth as any of the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by antelope skin, you wear glowing earrings with ornaments. You dwell on a supreme stainless lotus, because your abdomen is as smooth as a lotus petal, you have the blend golden bed of the red jewels. Whereas skirt is a closer called the hips. You have the supreme blood, supreme wisdom, God, the good ocean, left the multitude of merit, God, the supreme state. Source of constant bliss and dispel of aging and disease, the triple liberator and dispel of holy to those enjoying space. Supreme in body being, victor of the barrel with marvelous forces, you feed her alone, have a neck, with your sleeping from self-interest, the four brothers of Burma. You move this one to get like a proud elephant, you look up to the accumulation of after the doctor, one face in the ocean, milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum nurses dawn, as quickly brings ever look at his far to mind, and feel like they recite the supreme praise. All the mundane and super mundane needs will be fulfilled. This life and all future lives. O my prostrate too, the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised by the three realms, the one who is praised by the chief of worldly gods, Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king of ages, fulfills the wishes of beings that prostrate to the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, containing the bodies of infinite ones gone to bless, the crown holds the one gone to bless of infinite light. Your supremely generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. The one flashing into the garland, a fragrant top pair, faces beautiful like the full moon. You lotus like eyes are exquisite, elvising your face is beautiful, fragrant body is pure like snow or a punch. Your arms are the flawless glittering pearls, you adorn with beautiful light, as the of dawn. Your arms are arranged like a pond of lotuses, you to have the color of the clouds. Your two shoulders are of many jewels, your two palms are smooth as the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by antelope skin, you wear alluring earrings, bracelets, and ornaments. You dwell in a supreme stainless lotus, if your abdomen is as smooth as lotus petal, you spine with the bed of the red jewels. You wear a skirt with a cloth on the hips, you have the able and supreme wisdom, calm beyond the good ocean. reflected the multitude of merit to acquire the supreme state, the source of constant bliss, and the spell of aging and disease, the triple liberator, the spell of holy HLS enduring space. Superman body and being, victor of the battle with Mara's forces, you Peter alone inside of the Lanquith, who isolates from self-interest. With the four birds of Brahma, you move the swans again like a proud elephant. You have fully completed the accumulation of after the doctrine, you fully when a fish in the ocean, milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum when the rest of the dawn, this prickly brings have a look at his far to mind. Until then clearly reflects the supreme praise, all the limited super mundane needs will be fulfilled with a cycle off at your lives. Umar Prashtu, the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praised by the three realms. One is praised by the chief of worldly gods, the Mars and Brahma, praising you, supreme king of sages, fill the wishes of beings, the Prashtu, the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of noble holy body, creating the bodies of infinite ones, God of bliss, the crown of the one God of bliss of infinite light. It's from the generous right hand dispels the hunger and thirst of the hungry ghost. Your left hand is perfectly adorned with the golden lotus. When a flashing into the garland, a fragrant top pair, a piece of beautiful the full moon. The lotus like ours are explicitly encompassing it, plaguing bodies feel like snow or a conch. You are clusters of lotus glittering pearls, you adorn beautiful light rays at the red of dawn. Your arms are arranged like a pond of lotus, the youth will have the color of autumn clouds. Two shoulders are done in many jewels, your arms are smooth as the the best of leaves. Your left breast is covered by an antelope skin, you are alluring earrings, breathless ornaments. You dwell on supreme stainless lotus of your abdomen, is as smooth as lotus petal, is the sublime gold better than jewels. Whereas Scottish the complete culture on the hips, you the able and supreme wisdom, God beyond the good ocean, you've collected the bolts with merit. To acquire the supreme state, you'll source of constant bliss and the spell of aging and disease, your triple liberator and the spell of holy to those enjoying space. Supreme body being victor of the battle of Mara's forces, if you do lure inside of the liquid, so isolating some self-interest, the four brother Brahma, through the swan's head like a proud elephant, look at the accumulation I got of the doctor when he preached in the ocean, milk and ocean of water. But if a minimum on earth is dawn, respectfully brings heaven look at as far to mine, and peeling clearly recites the supreme praise, all the minutes of mundane needs will be fulfilled. This life and all future lives. O my Prashay, to the protector of the world, you are the guru of the world, praise for the three realms, the one who is praised by the chief of worldly gods, the Mars and Brahma. Praising you, supreme king and sages, fulfill the wishes of beings, first the supreme protector of the three realms. Hold of a noble holy body, contain of the bodies of infinite ones gone bless, the crown hold the one gone bless of infinite light. The supreme the generous right hand is spread the hungry thirst, the hungry ghost, your left hand is perfectly adorned, the golden lotus. When a flash near to a girl in a freaking top pair, her face is beautiful at the full moon. The lotus like eyes are glistening encompassing, her face is beautiful at the fairy bodies feel like snow or a conch. You are flashes of lotus glittering pearls, you adorn a beautiful light as a red of dawn. Your arms are arranged upon a lotus as you and youthful. Have the color of autumn clouds. Your two shoulders are adorned by jewels, your two palms are smooth as young of the best of leaves. Well, your left breast is covered by antelope skin, you are alluring earrings, breasted ornaments. Your right tweezle on the supreme stainless lotus is your abdomen. With as smooth as lotus petal, you have slime gold band with the jewels. You wear a skirt with the collar on the hips. You have the able and supreme wisdom, God beyond the good ocean, you've collected the multitude of merit to acquire the supreme state, the source of constant bliss, and the speller of aging and disease, the triple liberator, and the spell of life to those enjoying space. Supreme embodied being, victor in the battle with Mars forces, you fit her alone with seven golden anklets. You isolating from self-interest, the floor brought the Brahma, the swans getting a pet elephant. You feel like a bit of the accumulation of the after the doctrine, when he preached the ocean, milk and ocean of water. Whatever minimum arises at dawn, as Breckley brings up a look at his far to mind, and Peeling clearly recites its supreme praise. All the mundane and super mundane needs will be fulfilled, this life and all future lives. O Varyam, compassionate eyed one, who is the treasure of compassion, I request you, please listen to me. Please guide myself, mothers and fathers, in all 6 realms to be freed quickly.
from the great ocean of samsara. I request that the vast and profound fearless awakening mind make room. With the tear of your great compassion, please cleanse all karmas and illusions. Lead with your hand of compassion, me and my greater soul feels the bliss. Please Amida, the engine raising in all my lives, be virtuous friends. You will be on the pure path and quickly place us in Buddha's state. The bathhouse has an extremely sweet fragrance, a crystal floor, and beautiful swelling jeweled pillars. The roof is covered by a canopy decorated with shining pearls. This is the god's upper bath at the time of the Buddha's birth, so do I with upper bath at the water of the gods. For offering an ablution to the protector of a located for the lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar, and all the saints who do obscuration of the migrators be cleansed, and may they be the good fortune to acquire the same in the three bodies. Zavada Gadari Lukis Zabadi Wada Vijagat as the Maya for offering a delusion of the Gurus and Edams, the lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar, and all the saints who do obscurations of migrators be cleansed, and may they be the good fortune to acquire the same in the three bodies. Zavada Gadari Lukis Zabadi Wada Vijagat as the Maya they are offering an illusion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar, may all the saints that do obscurations and migrators be cleansed, and may they be the good fortune to acquire the same as three bodies. Zawada the Gadari Lukimana Zabadi Wadabi Jigata the Maya Juya. They are offering an illusion of the hearers and solitary realizers, the lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar. May all the saints that do obscurations and migrators be cleansed, and may they be the good fortune to acquire the same as three bodies. Zawada the Gadari Lukimana Zabadi Wadabi Jigata the Maya Juya. The offering and ablution of the Dakas and Dakinis, lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar. May all the saints that do obscurations and migrators be cleansed, may they be the good fortune to acquire the same as three bodies. Zawada the Gadara Lukimana Zabadi Wadabi Jigata the Maya Juya. The ablution, the Dharma protector, the lamp of migrators, the stream of fragrant nectar. May all the saints that do obscurations and migrators be cleansed, may they be the good fortune to acquire the same as three bodies. Zawada the Gadara Lukimana Zabadi Wadabi Jigata the Maya Juya. For the Tadagatas and their sons, and the many jeweled vases exquisitely filled with pleasing perfume, accompanied by a variety of excellent songs and music are for this bath. Om Zavada Dagadaya Lokis Vadazab, Bode Vada Vijigata Samaya I dry your holy bodies with incomparable clean, exquisitely scented cloths. Om Hom Ram Briyan. Om Zavada Dagadaya Lokis Vadazaya, Bri Vadagai Vishvadanai Zoha. Know that I purify my mind and offer an exquisite precious garment, multicolored like a jury's variegated bow. True touch becomes the cause of bliss. Oh, of the patience. Because the victorious ones are adorned with natural ornaments and signs, marks and signs, they don't need any other kind of ornament. By offering the supreme precious jewel ornaments, the almighty beings achieve the holy body adorned with marks and signs. Om Bada Alam Gadavapajaniam Soha. By offering the suspicious of us, beautified with jewels, filled with various essences, may all stains of karma and delusion be purified, be imbued with moisture of bodhicitta. Om Bada Kalaja. Out of your loving compassion for myself and my creators, O Bhagavan, please remain to the miraculous manifestations, as long as we continue to make offerings. Due to these virtuous actions of mine, may I become a Buddha in this world. Because I'm teachings and the benefit my creators, these sentient beings who will benefit many suffering. And all my rebirths may I belong to a good family, be clear in mind, free of pride, great compassion and respect for my gurus, and abide in the pledges of Avalokiteshvara. Avalokiteshvara, whatever your body, your retinue, lifespan, realm, and so forth, whatever your supreme and excellent name, and others become only like that. The force of the praises and requests made to you, may all diseases, evil spirits, poverty, and quarrels be calm. May the Dharma and good fortune increase, and the regions designed others dwell. The precious mind of bodhicitta, as the sinners rise and grow, has and written not that it would increase more and more. Om Padma Sattva Samaya Manabalaya Kadasarva Devi Dita Deda Baba Sudakaram Bao Sudakaram Paradakta Mabao Dardinima Tadargam Sudame Idamikaram Haha Ho Bhagavan Sudakara Takara Paramanam Sabama Madhava Om Padma Sattva Samaya Manabalaya Kadasarva Devi Dita Mabao Sudakaram Bao Subhakaram Paradakta Mabao Dardinima Tadargam Sudame Idamikaram Haha Ho Bhagavan Sudakara Takara Om Padma Sattva Samaya Manabalaya Kadasarva Devi Mabao Sudakaram Bao Subhakaram Paradakta Mabao Dardinima Tadargam Sudame Idamikaram Haha Ho Bhagavan O greatly compassionate Bhagavans, please pay attention to me. Since we are beginners and under the influence of the drowsiness and excitement, our concentration has not been clear. Our has been incorrect. We have made additions to the mission and the ritual, and scarcely clean and so on. I request your great compassionate Aryas to forgive us, none of this is obscure us. Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme Hum Mani Padme Hum Om Mani Padme The principal, the great compassionate one, and his retinue come to the space in front. White nectar flows from the parts of their holy bodies, washing all the outside, inside, and middle of one's body, purifying all the diseases, evil spirits, negativities, and obscurations of one's three doors, along with their imprints without anything remaining. Then meditate on the divine pride as oneself as a Samaya being the great compassionate one. Due to these merits, may you become the great compassionate one and place all mighty beings that accepted and embrace state. So now, if you like, you can pour yourself a drink. While we do the dedication prayers, you can have something to drink. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, attain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittle of the mind and be down to depression. Blind see forms, the deaf hear sounds. Those whose bodies are worn with toil, distorting, finding repose. The naked find clothing, the hungry find food, thirsty find water and delicious drinks. The poor find wealth, the seekers far find joy, the Lord find hope, honor and happiness and prosperity. There be time the rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicine be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from the ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. The frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. The powerless find power, and people benefiting each other. As long as space remains, as long as transmigratory beings remain, still I too remain to dispel the suffering of transmigratory beings. Due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, the numberless sentient beings, who are completely empty existing from their own side, may I, who am completely empty existence from my own side, be in the state of full enlightenment, completely empty existence from its own side, and all sentient beings who are completely empty existence from their own side, that state is completely existence from its own side, and myself alone, who am completely empty existence from my own side. I probably to get all these virtues to be able to train, just like the hero Manjushri, who knows reality, and just like the Mother Butter as well. I probably to get all the merits of virtue for the kid that gets praised the best, but the victorious ones are 3 times, so that they have good conduct. Jiden Kandim Pende Malubam Gale Jungwen Zambel Yijenor Kandrin Zumen Enzen Yadzula Zoadim Zum Dujelondrubjo Dobzo Jang Jin Jang Gelwe Denzin Gyombewe Kunzo Do Bordzen Jogzum Garwele Modudrum Ahadag Zodul Jegondu Jabdenjo. While appearances, sounds, and the one which is knowing, being the deity, the mantra, and the Dharmakaya, manifest the limitless actions of the holy bodies and transcendental wisdom. Mind become one taste, the drop of the holy mind, separable from the practice of the great, profound, sacred yoga. Okay, thank you, everybody. Now we've completed 2 Nyung Nãs. It's a little past 6:30 Indian time in the morning. Um, so if you have just completed your last Nyung Nä with us, then make sure you need to offer the tormas and request the deity to depart, and I'll make any dedication prayers if you haven't done so already. If you're if you've done the last Nyung Nä and are still going to do the next Nyung Nä with us, like we are doing, then now you're allowed to have a weak porridge for breakfast, and then you can have lunch as you like later on. If this is your first Nyung Nä, there might be quite a few of you joining us for the first time. Then you cannot have breakfast because that's only for those who have just fasted. But generally speaking, when you take the 8 minor precepts, you don't eat breakfast. You could only have lunch after the second session. And if there's any of you who are just joining us, here sporadically and haven't taken the precepts, and of course there's no restriction. You can do whatever you like. So we'll have the next session at 8:30 Indian time. We'll have more of a time for question and answer after the second session. But if there's any